So you already watched Cobra Kai season 1 and 2 like before.
Yes, I did. Yeah, because apparently it was on YouTube from before it was exclusively. So I
That's
remember
right.
the first season.
Yeah.
I remember the first season because you had to pay for, they had the YouTube
YouTube Red.
premium thing.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever that shit. Um, yeah, so they said like if you sign up for that, you can watch Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm like, no, I'm not. I just watch YouTube videos. I can watch the ads. I know it's getting a little irritating, but I can still watch the ads on the videos.
Of course.
So when I heard they were coming out with Cobra Kai, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's bringing back nostalgia from Karate Kick franchise
Exactly.
back in the
Yeah.
80s. You know what I mean? And then I watched it from there. And then I watched the first season on YouTube. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I actually like this show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the second season again on YouTube. But what they did is that every Wednesday, I think it was around summertime, they release each episode like every Wednesday, like individually, and you could just like watch
Watch
each.
them again. Yeah.
Watch it again, like what they're doing, like One Division, for example, or like The Mandalorian,
Right.
like every Friday.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then I did that. I watched it. I'm like, oh, okay, second season's cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Netflix bought Cobra Kai, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now they release all the previous season, and including the third one that we're gonna mention on this podcast. Dude, from watching the show so far, it's pretty freaking good, man. I
It's
really like the show.
all okay. So before we go any further, I'm gonna say spoiler warning, spoiler alert now, because I know some people still haven't probably watched third season and just came out. So we're gonna talk about it. So I had not watched it. I've been meaning to watch it because some of our other cousins have been telling me to watch it because it's pretty good. I hadn't watched it
Yeah,
yet. I know it has
including
to
me.
do with Karate Kid. I've always loved those movies. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
I just put it aside, and then when I heard that season 3 was coming out, I was like, I haven't watched it yet. I'm just gonna wait till season 3 comes out so I can just watch it all the way through and enjoy it that way, right? Instead of like
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
and having a gap or whatever. I love the way like it's so crazy to me that all the same actors are back from at least the
Yeah,
original, right? Like
yeah. Well,
even here in season 3 when he goes back to where he was in the second movie, The Karate Kid 2, all the old
yeah.
like characters he's seen or whatever, it's the
Yes.
same actors and
It's the
actresses.
same actors. Yeah. When I
That
saw
is,
that guy,
yeah, dude.
I forgot the
Chosen.
guy from the yeah, when he was in the second one, when
Yeah, yeah.
when he was like trying to like kill him in the
Kill him.
pit, and
Battle to
after
the death or whatever.
yeah, battle to the death, yeah. And
Hmm.
after he did the same thing. He's like he attacked, like he had new moves that Daniel
Didn't
never
know.
knew
Yeah,
from
never learned.
Miyagi. He never
Exactly.
learned. And he's like, he did this thing, he's like, bong, like pinch his nose,
Honk.
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, like honk,
Yeah, yeah. I've been waiting a
And
long
then
time for this.
and and then he trained him how to use those moves, and yeah,
More
and then
offensive stuff. That's what I thought was pretty
more
cool to
offensive,
lead up to the end of the
yeah,
season. He was like, "No, you have to go on offensive. That's not, defense isn't the only thing." So I thought that was pretty cool that even he's learning. The Karate Kid is still learning, right? Like
yeah, he's still learning, yeah,
it's really
yeah,
cool. But like, okay, so before I even started the show too, like I was like, I love the original movies, right? Like I feel like everyone
hmm
does. But I was like, I don't know, like I'm not that into karate. Like I don't know if I like this series. It seems like it's more directed for kids, but it's really good. Like I'm hooked, right? Like those are very good series.
yeah, it is. I like this a lot
It's a
actually.
really good series. But I have two complaints. But I don't know if you want to, give some more thoughts on series 3 or yeah, season
Well,
3.
I was gonna say too that I like that Elizabeth Shue that played Allie came back, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's
The actress,
that's pretty
you
crazy.
know,
Like
yeah.
you never know.
And
Like
then
sometimes these actors are off doing something else, but they got them all to come back, right? Like
yeah, and then it was cool that when Johnny and Daniel in the show, they're actors, the two gentlemen
hmm.
that played them, they freaking like fought it with each other together, and they're like they were such a good team.
Yeah,
And they have a
yeah.
lot in common. You know what I mean?
More than they like
So
to than they like to
yeah,
admit, right? So yeah.
yeah, they did, and then like it was a Christmas special, and then
Hmm.
they got together in the party, and they started talking, and like and the Daniel's
Getting along.
wife that getting along, talking and stuff like that, and then
Hmm.
Ellie's like, you know what? It's like to Johnny because he was talking to Miguel's mother,
Mother, yeah.
and then after like yeah, and then saying like it's because he was in love with her, and then he was gonna tell her that, but saw like Miguel in a rough shape, and then he was gonna go attack Kreese. And what I liked about too is the backstory of Kreese when he was in Vietnam. I like that
Oh
a
my
lot.
God, I love. Yeah, dude.
I like that. I like that.
I was gonna bring that up too because you get the movies, the original movies. You know who's the good guy and the bad guy, and you get a nice story. But this show is adding so much to those movies. Like when you
Yeah,
go back and watch those movies now, it has a whole different meaning now that this show's come out and shown backstory, right? It's literally
exactly.
adding value to movies that came out in the 80s. Like this show is great. It's really good.
It's
Um,
really really good.
yeah, like no, I just like it's really good, man. Really good story. But I
Yeah.
have two
I
small complaints, I
yeah
think,
yeah. Go for it.
and I think I'm very justified in it. Um, it's sometimes to me it feels too pandered to kids, but it rides a line where they're still swearing and talking about
Yeah,
adult subjects.
I'm surprised this third season had like a lot of swearing in this
I
one.
had a lot of swearing. Yeah, like actually,
Yeah.
yeah, like you're you're right. Like but
Yeah.
that's my thing. I'm confused because sometimes some of the storyline is very predictable and also very directed towards kids. Like I feel like I'm watching Disney Channel, but then I'll turn around and Johnny's like swearing and shit, right? Like
Yeah.
and talking and certain subjects, like you know what I mean? Like for me, it's too flippy floppy sometimes. I guess like in that way, but
Yeah.
it's a very minor complaint.
No. No, I totally agree. No, it is true.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
And my other minor complaint, and it has to do with season 3, is so they're all fighting in the house, right? In the LaRusso
Yeah,
house.
that's right. Yeah, Lewis House. Yeah.
And Hawk has these like flashbacks and he's, different voices in his head and he decides, hey, I'm going to change teams again and I'm going to join the good guys. And that pissed me off because Hawk has beat the shit out of everybody, including the small kids, broke
Yeah.
Dimitri's arm, and then he's like, hey, guess what, guys? I'm joining your team again because I
Because
feel like we're
I
going to
th
lose.
yeah, because I think what it is that like he saw how Kreese was and
Yeah,
like how he be like trained him and how he became, and then he's like, you know what? Like I heard my Dimitri was my best friend from before,
right.
and
He's, yeah.
I can't do it to him again, and I'm not gonna let that happen. And he switched sides, you know.
Switch.
So
Yeah, but my thing is, like, I get that, right? Like, that's good
yeah,
character like
development.
arc and
Yeah,
development. Yes,
yeah.
I like
But
that.
I know
But
what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to
he
say, though.
should have gotten the shit kicked out of him before he switched sides again. That's my thing.
Yeah,
He has done
yeah,
the most and gotten the least like ass kickings. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Like
totally
he's
agree.
been the I don't know, like this is so like that's the one thing I was thinking about the whole time. I'm like, this kid is dishing it out. Like he's kicking everyone's ass. And then at the end he's just like, yeah, I'm switching back, and they're all like, okay, that's cool. Like, nah, I don't think
Yeah, I
so.
know. And then what really surprised me too, like spoilers too, when Johnny's son,
Robbie.
what's his, Robbie, thank you,
Hmm.
he is going to join Cobra Kai with Kreese, right?
I had a feeling as soon as he stole the van and the whole juvie thing, I had a
Yeah,
feeling
I'm
he was
so
gonna end up turning and going back to Cobra Kai and kind of being the main student there. So,
yeah.
um, but I'm also not surprised at the ending that now Johnny and I'm really happy Johnny and Daniel
And Daniel are like
team
teaming up now.
teamed up.
Like
I'm really happy
he,
that that happened because it it should be that way because the whole time, even back in the original movies, I've always thought that the real villain wasn't Johnny and Cobra Kai. It was
yeah, it was
Kreese, right?
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, yeah.
It's the trainer, it's the sensei that's really the
What's
evil
the
guy here.
sensei?
Because
Yeah,
even in the
yeah.
third movie, Johnny's like has nothing to do with Johnny. It's all just Cobra
It's all
Kai
the
and
other guys.
Kreese.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
Chris. Yeah,
the
yeah.
the students are all just there, but it's Kreese is the main bad guy. He's just using other people as his like scarecrows, I guess. Like,
Leverage. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
it's the leverage. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly leverage. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's a really I like it, and I like how Kreese is still
Me
very
too.
he's very
Yeah,
lovable to hate. I like it.
yeah. I totally agree. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
he's
Yeah.
really lovable to hate. But yeah, man, like really good show, and some of the characters are really Like I like the way
Yeah,
things have panned
like
out.
how they develop throughout the two seasons,
Yeah,
including this one, the third season. I even like the characters now than I did before. You know what I mean?
exactly. And it's not too like it's they're in high school, right? So emotions are going to be high and stuff. Like
Hmm.
it's kind of realistic. But another complaint I have, speaking of realistic, if a group of teenagers broke into your house and started beating the shit out of kids that were over your house, they would go to
Yeah, I know.
jail.
Yeah, literally.
Right? This has nothing to do
Yeah,
with it. Oh, it was just karate. If that, it's unrealistic to me because if they beat them up on the street or something, that's one thing. But to break into somebody's house, break the windows, break the doors, whatever, like full on break and entry, um,
I know.
and beat the
I know.
crap out of kids and some that live there, that you're going to jail. So like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
I don't
like
know, but
legit. I know. No, it's true. No,
but
like,
so I was kind
yeah,
of like, yeah,
you bring in someone's house and then you destroy their shit. Yeah, you better get your ass to jail.
you're
Don't talk
going
to
to jail,
soft.
dude. Like,
You're not jail.
yeah.
Like it's
So
the truth, man. Like, and what kind of didn't I don't know. Like what made me like this show too. I was gonna say didn't like, but I actually like this show. But I was meant to say is what made me like the show too is when like in the second season, the season finale is when Miguel hit his back on the server
on
of the
the
radio,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then he couldn't walk, and the doctor said he's gonna be paralyzed forever, and then they did the operation. They gave him money, for his operation,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then yeah, and then Johnny was there the whole time training him how to walk, stand up, and then they go into the concert. And he's moving his foot, and he's like, "Oh, like I'm actually moving." And he started like walking again, and he
That
had
was
built that
really cool
courage.
too. Yeah, that
I like
was.
that. I like
I
that.
liked how Johnny stuck through. Like he stuck with his original student. Like it showed that he cared, and it was
Yeah,
cool that he didn't want to mess it
yeah,
up, and that he actually cared for Carmen, Miguel's mom. So
yeah,
that
yeah. That's
was pretty cool. I'm excited to see what happens with them in season 4 now.
yeah.
Like if that's
Me
gonna
too.
develop more, him and the mom, right? Um,
Probably, most
yeah.
likely.
But now they set up season 4 so perfectly in the finale because Kreese was like, let's settle this at the tournament. And now the tournament's
Yeah,
going to
that's
be in
right.
season 4, right?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but I feel like they should end. I know this might be unpopular, but I keep using Walking Dead as an analogy. After this tournament and after next season, they should end the show, I think.
No, I
Um,
totally agree.
because that will be the final battle. Everything's built up to this. You finally have LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence teaming up together, whatever. Everything's building up to this Cobra Kai versus, the good guys, Miyagi Do, and like that. Whoever
Yeah,
wins wins. That's it. I would end the show right there, and you have an instant classic series. That, in my opinion.
that's it. Yeah, they should do that. You're right. They
Yeah,
should.
and you would have an instant classic, 4 season series. That's perfect. Great story, and it adds so much to the original movies too. So people can go back and watch the movies with a different, you know, like if you go back and watch the original movie now, knowing what you know about Kreese's backstory, like you could watch it differently, right? Like
Exactly.
it's cool like that.
Exactly.
I like it.